Well, hello everyone. This is Mike Clay, and I'm being joined today with Sue Bell. Hey Sue, how you doing?
Excellent, Mike. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Oh, my pleasure. We have so much fun when we get on this. So here's kind of what we're doing today. We're putting together a video for a quick start guide for all of you that just joined the Pro membership. So welcome to Pro membership, first of all. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Big Boys Club, right?
Yep.
And now let's talk. Sue, I know the answer, but let's really just drive it home. When they first log in, this is what they're now seeing.
Right.
What is the very first thing they have to click? They want to go click on the software, but what's the very first thing they need to go click?
Uh, this one
Up.
here.
There we go, right there. Yeah, it's Domination. All right, so let me ask. We all signed up. I know I did. When I first signed up for the enterprise level software, I jumped in. The first thing I did was go find the logins for Kraken and then go play with Kraken. That's the very first thing I did.
Yep.
Why was that the wrong thing to do?
Well, it's not the wrong thing to do. Everybody wants to play with new toys. You open all your boxes on Christmas morning, the first thing you want to do is go play. But
With everything.
There comes that point where it's like, how do I turn this on, right? And so then you need to come back to the instruction manual.
And so give me a run through. Just walk me through what is niche domination, and then we'll go back and go over why it's so important.
Well, niche domination is front to back how to build your website and get your core social media started. So it starts with the foundation of positioning. And because if you don't know your position, you don't ever know if you have the right keywords. So from positioning, the ISDNA, we go into keyword research and market research. And then from there, you have your fundamentals and you can start to build out your website. So we go into Tech Foundation where we walk through everything, including buying your domain and hosting and all of that good stuff, getting your website set up. And then from there, we create the content, your articles and your videos. And then we finalize the blog and your website. We set up your one feed. That's where we start with the social media. And then you can launch it and watch what happens. So front to back.
Sweet. All right. Now, I also know because, a couple of times because it's just that important. And we've even had a couple of, we did an impromptu webinar the other night, and one of the certified advisors that was there said that in this course, he goes over the ISDNA phase 1 of niche domination every month just to make sure it stays fresh in his mind.
Yep.
And this is something a lot of people miss. They just see these pages, but they don't really click on all the links, and that's something that I think we should. Each of these pages are linking to other pages. We're not talking about 9 pages here. We're talking 30, 40 pages here.
Yeah.
And there's just, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really see the niche domination course as like an onion. The more you go through it, the more layers you just keep peeling back and peeling and peeling and peeling, and it never ends.
Well, I don't know that it never ends, but it definitely
it starts you down the rabbit hole to learn more.
Yeah. It definitely covers a lot of ground. I mean, there's no way that, you're going to go from just a few fundamental ideas of positioning all the way to a finished website in 24 hours. Not feel good about your result.
No, it took me a solid 2 weeks to really go through everything.
Yep.
And then the other part of this is you have new toys. You have keywords by Network Empire. You have Domain Web Studio. You have all the plugins now. So niche domination, in my mind, what this course is doing, what this training is doing, is it's teaching you the philosophy, the steps, and all that, and it even shows you where and when and how to plug the tools in to automate sections of this, correct?
Exactly. We reference additional training. Like, you don't see it anymore when you're up here at the members area level, but there's actually, I don't know, maybe like 20 courses that make up the whole of our training. And so as you're going through niche domination, we'll send you off to other areas as they apply. So for example, if you're doing a website for a brick and mortar store, we've got local domination, and we tell you all the things that you need to know specific to getting a website for a brick and mortar store, in Google Maps, and get your citations and all of those kinds of things. So we've got a whole other set of pages, probably 20 or 30 concepts that you need to cover specifically for that. So we reference that as you go through here. Most of that is down here in this area, where you've got your blog finished and you actually need to promote it. But there's a few ideas that come into play even while you're doing your market research. So we reference that. So we link out to those other areas and tell you, if you're doing this, you want to go read this. If you're doing this, you want to go read this. As you get to the point where you're actually blogging every week, then you want to go take a look at the curation course, even so it's a historical course, because it talks about how to curate onto a bunch of different platforms so that you can take that content that you laboriously wrote for your blog and utilize it 20 to 30 times on different platforms.
And when we're talking about the whole reason 90% of people joined Network Empire was to get that secret sauce to be able to control and dominate the search engines. And you just told them how to do it right there. But it's not a push button system. There's philosophy, there's education, and then there's application in that. So niche domination really it's the roadmap.
Yep.
It's the roadmap to get there.
Absolutely.
Now, other things that came up, and you answered one of them. Like, I can't talk all of a sudden. You were even talking about like the keyword research and things like that. With keyword research, niche domination helps you know what the good keywords are.
Yes.
And that's one of the most common asked questions in all of the support I've seen in Skype. How do I know which keywords are the right ones?
That's been the hugest problem from the very beginning, from ThemeZoom 1.0. People have always asked us, how do I know I have the right keywords? So ISDNA is the culmination of 10 years worth of effort that Russ has made to break down the ideas of positioning into something that's understandable, something that you can do relatively quickly. We've got a couple of supporting documents like what the heck are you selling? We talk a little bit about doing lean canvas, and from those kinds of tools, you're going to pull the frequently asked questions to the should ask questions. From those kinds of tools, you're going to pull the keywords that you're looking for. You're going to walk into your keyword research understanding both what the market is looking for, the pains that they're experiencing, the solutions that they need, the kinds of terminologies that they're actually using when they do searches, and how then as you do your keyword research, you're going to be able to see how difficult, how much money it's going to cost you to actually enter into those conversations, and you can decide where you want to start. Like, is there low-hanging fruit that you can get some traction in and build some momentum and then back yourself into some of the more difficult markets? So you walk away knowing that this is the set of keywords that you want and you need and the order in which you want to attack them.
And then this is even going into when to use Domain Web Studio and that kind of stuff as well. So
yeah.
all that's
so
integrated.
we talk more about Network Empire Builder and less about DWS because DWS is a more advanced tool.
Okay.
So a lot of what's in here is going to be more about Network Empire Builder because the first time through, people are kind of getting their feet wet. So we've really scaled things back to try to avoid overwhelm. And then we've got more advanced courses when you're ready to step off into the deep end, jump off of the diving board. Then we've got more advanced courses that cover some of those more advanced concepts. Get more, Cell Blueprints first too also gets into DWS more.
Yeah, it does. Since it's all about building a blueprint, and that blueprint is a modified export from DWS. So,
exactly.
And that's another thing. People that have taken the Cell Blueprints first have a lot of technical questions, and I think part of what they didn't realize is if they had just gone through niche domination as the foundation, it even answers the questions ahead of time. Cell Blueprints first it presupposes that you understand niche domination.
Right.
And if you don't have that pre-existing knowledge, you get lost in some of it.
Yep.
Which is why we're doing a quick start guide.
Exactly.
Well, that really answers a lot of the questions. It tells everybody where to start, how to get started. Now, what do we do if we're in the middle of these things and get lost? One of the things that was mentioned in the Skype room the other day is, we feel the support desk is just for the and ask in Skype. If no one's on, it gets lost, and so on.
Yes. Skype is great. Oftentimes you can get somebody to answer your question right away. But if you don't, please don't hesitate to go to the help desk. Like, that is what we're there for. And, we've got massive amounts of information that we've created over the last 10 years. And even so, I have struggled to go back and simplify it. I don't hit everything, and there are points where, I've either missed a page or I've missed an idea or I read it in the wrong frame of mind, not coming quite from the place that the new person to Network Empire that I try to come from. So, just hit us up and say, hey, I don't understand what this means. Can you help me out? Because that lets me know that I need to go back and change that content too. So it helps us too.
Well, and you said something pretty crucial there. Of you try to look at this from the perspective of a new person coming into Network Empire. You've been here for years.
Yes.
Really a hard position for you to be in of trying to see like a new person because you know it all.
It's super hard.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, putting in the support tickets helps Sue know what needs to be done to make this better and better and better. It helps her continue to improve it. It lets her know who she needs to go crack the whip on to get them to do stuff, and get things done. And that's similar to what I've tried to do with Cell Blueprints first, even.
Exactly.
Clarifying and doing that kind of stuff is where the impromptu webinars have been born out of.
Yep.
Because I just don't want to type that much. So
right.
there's the secret, guys. The reason the impromptu webinars happen is because Mike doesn't like to type that much. So.
Excellent.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for taking the time this evening to help us put together the Quick Start Guide to get everybody started. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Level membership. If you need help, let us know. That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks, everybody.